Hello everybody, my name is Stephanie. I'm from Paradigm Expansions. I want to share today about my story and how it connects with letting your heart's desire be your true north, be your compass for living your best life. When I first thought about the term desire, let's go back 10 years ago, I used to think of desire as a kind of selfish term, that I couldn't fully trust my own desires, or I didn't deserve to follow my own desires. And this comes from my interpretation of religion and of being a very empathic person, that what made sense to me as a kid growing up and even as a young adult was that it was my purpose to serve others, and that living too much from my own desire meant that I was being either impulsive or was not caring about other people in the way that I should, or honoring their needs, or that I was too tapped into the more sinful parts of who I was and not tapped into the spiritual aspects of serving others. So I sort of had a distorted view and confused desire that we see in modern culture that has to do with kind of quick fixes for pleasure, of desiring a piece of cake or ice cream or a drink. And I'm not here to say that there's anything wrong with those desires, but just that I personally really confused heart's desire of what I really wanted out of life and put it in that same bucket of kind of what I thought of as indulgent desires. And I really didn't feel like I could trust myself and listen to what I wanted in life, because I put them both in the same category. And what that meant was, in my late 20s, I got really nervous about where my life was going, and I had been doing a pendulum swing of really taking risks and putting myself out there, and then getting scared and going back into the box. And I've been doing this pendulum swing, and I, at one point, on my end of the swing of taking risks and opening myself up, did Peace Corps in Grenada and had such a fabulous experience. And in opening myself up, I did get burned a few times, not in a way that I couldn't recover from, but in a way that I started to question if I could really trust myself. And then that led to me wanting to go back into safety. And then I started making a series of decisions that really were pleasing other people, because I lost touch. I fell out of trust with myself and lost touch with what I really wanted, and then also didn't feel like I really deserved what I really wanted. So I started really outsourcing my decision making to other people, and made a few decisions that were really against my intuition, and that I knew almost every day for a year was a wrong decision, and I stayed in it. And then it compounded on itself, where instead of exiting out, then I was like, oh, I trust myself even less, and asked for people to continue to validate my decision or to tell me what to do next. And so I did get into a pattern of marrying someone who I deeply cared about and loved, and still care about and love, even though we are not in touch anymore. But I married someone feeling like it was my duty to prove that he was worthy of love, and even found myself asking for him to tell me that our relationship was right and that we were in a good place, even though I felt like we weren't. And my way of trying to illuminate that was asking him to say that we weren't, instead of trusting myself. And I made a series of other decisions that, again, were decisions that made sense for him or made sense for my family, but were very against what my own heart was telling me. And then I found myself in a position a few years ago of saying out loud to my friends, I hate everything about my life. And this was a very low point for me because I have always been a very spiritual and joyful person, and I have a beautiful life. I have a beautiful family. It has not been a perfect life, but it is very good. And so me hearing myself say that out loud, it woke me up a little bit to, what do I need to do to change things? And I started really exploring and trying to take care of myself. I started exercising, I started finding time for myself, and I started really applying working with the chakras to my own daily routine. And I had been doing chakra work, I had been studying chakras for a long time, but I really trusted my intuition on building in a 2 times a day routine of doing chakra visualizations and meditations. And this really allowed amazing healing within me, where I was able to understand that I am a dynamic being and that I have desires that come from a place of wanting to experience pleasure or avoid pain. And I also have desires that come from wanting to connect to my higher self and purpose and those around me. And it really illuminated for me that it was necessary to follow my heart's desires, that this was my compass. This was my seat of intuition, the way that my intuition communicated with me, of saying, this is your path. And it was such a beautiful unfolding of realizing that having that clarity was such a stunning experience for me that gave me so much freedom and so much excitement about life. So working with the chakras opened me up to my heart's desires and gave me clarity. After that, I needed to continue to work with the chakras to then get the courage to make some really big changes in my life, that a lot of them had to do with being honest with myself, of what do I really want out of life, what is my intuition and my spirit wanting from my heart, from a place of pure love and higher wisdom. And how do I, with courage, take the steps that I need to live from that place? Because there was a time that I felt like it was not possible, because the choices that I had made put me in a position where it was not possible to live the life of my dreams. And I can tell you from then to right now that my day-to-day right now is truly the life of my dreams that I did not think was possible 3 years ago. And it is my day-to-day right now. It's a beautiful thing. It gives me chills. And of course, I have even more desires. My heart's desires have expanded, and it's not about not being satisfied or always chasing something, but it is like a blossoming lotus flower that as it starts to unfold, the self continues to see more opportunities for more growth, more blossoming, more freedom and abundance. And it's still something I'm exploring and learning every day, of how to live with presence and gratitude for where I am now, and continuing to be open to what's possible in the future. But I'm already living proof that living from my heart, using chakra work to find the clarity that I needed, of this is really what my heart is saying, and I don't have to question myself anymore. This is my true desire and I trust it. Then to the courage to make those changes, even though it meant rocking the boat, and it meant I had a circle of people that expected me to behave a certain way, and that circle either changed or adapted to support this new version of me living from my heart's desire. That courage and clarity has now gotten me to this point of 3 years ago to 3 years from now, living the life of my dreams because I'm following my heart's desire, my true north. I encourage you to first allow yourself the freedom that your heart's desire is a conscious guide inviting you to live a fuller, deeper life, a life of freedom, of abundance and joy. And it is good to follow your heart's desire. There's purity, there's love that comes from those desires. And then two, I do have some free YouTube videos and free courses, and also have some paid courses that are very beautiful on walking you through this chakra work that I have done to find the clarity of what really is my heart's desire. How can I tease it apart from other voices of, I don't know what's my voice, I don't know what's other people's voice, what's me trying to fulfill other people's expectations. So finding that clarity using chakra work, and then finding the courage to change, to make decisions that put me out there, but that were aligned with who I am. And I am now becoming every day the woman of my dreams, the woman that I know I am and I know I want to be. And I'm so grateful for it because life is so short. This is all the time we have. Let's make the most of it. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. Please check out in the description below links for my free content and my courses of really showing you the chakra work that I used to find that courage and clarity to now wake up and live the life of my dreams. Peace to you.